broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey! It's a special request, right? We in LA, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we get down over here. Hey! What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host, Lem Gonsalves. This is the one and only Are You the One after show. We are like turns up in the studio. We got like 10 people in the studio with us. It's like, hey, just get it. Just keep going. Just gotta run it back. Because this is like a club in here. We got lights and everything. Again, I'm your host, Lem Gonsalves. You can find me at The Poet Saint all day, every day. As I mentioned, this is the Are You One after show. Make sure that you follow us, subscribe to us, all of that. Follow us on YouTube, AfterBuzz.com. And also, you can use the hashtag we're going to get it right. We've been talking about this all day. ABTVAYTO. Use that in hashtag live stream. You can follow us and you can comment, and we may even shout you out. But to my left is the one and only D Murph. D Murph, what's up?
What's up, guys? I'm excited to be here. I can't stop dancing.
Yeah.
Good tune, Shai.
Right.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at dmurph625.
And of course, as always, holding it down, the other male in the building, Mr. Nino Llanera.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Nino. You can find me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And I'm so ready for this episode.
Right?
Yes.
And of course, we got to get a drum roll. Our first guest of the season in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all give it up for Shai.
Hi.
What up?
Hi, guys.
Shai, yeah, we got the applause going. Shai, where can they find you?
On Instagram and Twitter, it's Shai Not Shy.
Shai Not Shy. Shai Not Shy.
Love that.
And of course, Shai brought her entourage. We have her mom and her two sisters holding it down. They're doing it. They're right here. You may not be able to see them, but they're looking great. They're going to listen in. I might even ask mom a question.
God.
Maybe, I don't know, just because it might be embarrassing.
We don't know. Throwing something out there. Look at her. She's like, I don't know if you want to do that.
I'm just saying. We try to keep it loose over here.
I didn't know your entourage talked.
This is how it's going to go down. All right. So I have to say this first. What is going on with your season? You guys are not getting it right. Now, this is the third season, okay?
Yeah.
I've watched all the seasons, and of course, there's always challenges. You're trying to get everyone to agree, everyone to match up. There's always, problems. There's always people wanting to couple up that are still they're not matches anymore. All that is going on, but then there's a progression that happens. With this particular season that you're on, I feel like you guys are not getting it right. What is going on? Please tell me.
Well, we suck.
Okay.
I think that we just had a group of stubborn people this season. I watched last season and it was like, okay, if you're not a match, they were so down to play the game, but our season, we were so stuck on whoever you locked eyes with first. And then I think everyone got in their head that if you're not a match, that you can never speak again in life, and that you guys couldn't live happily ever after the show. So it was life or death if you're a match or not.
See,
Gotcha.
And this is what we've been saying this whole time.
We have been.
These past 3 episodes, we were like, yo, listen, you could just really play the game and then, come back to your own match later on. You know what I'm saying? Get that money.
Yeah,
Right.
It didn't work like that at all.
So was it a situation where, like you said, people were just whoever they were interested in right away, they just didn't want to tear away from that person, they felt obligated to that person? Or was it a situation that people didn't care about the money? Because that's what it seems like. It's like people are saying, forget the money, I like you and I want to be with you forever and ever and ever on the show.
I mean, that's always like the ultimate question. Are you here for love or are you here for money? In either way, like, I mean, everyone can say, I'm here for love, but it's like, you did a game show which you can win $1 million on. Like, I'm pretty sure you're gonna take the check.
Right.
And I would tell them, I'm like, I mean, if you're here for love, like, I'll happily take your check in the end. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I'll take you to dinner if you want.
Shai, she's speaking it.
Yeah, for real. Amen.
So it was like, just be honest and just play the game accordingly. But people really thought, like, we're in love. And this is it.
Gotcha. Okay. That's what it seems like. And I'm glad you're here to set the record straight, because we've talked about this and we're not there, and we've had other people on the show and they do say that it's hard because you're around each other 24/7 and all this kind of stuff. And it's almost like if you're not a match with somebody that you've been dating on the show, then it's like you have to see the person you broke up with like in the kitchen or in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a perfect situation. And we get that. But also it's like, we were saying the same thing. Get the matchup right, and then if you like this person or you want to date them afterwards, then do that after the show. There's no problem with doing that. Get that money and let's go. But people
slowly,
don't share
though,
their.
I feel like it's like in the beginning part of this episode, it's like, okay, like everyone's still kind of going back and reverting back to the couple situation,
right?
And then at the end, just like last week, they were like, let's strategize. Let's play the game more, right. Let's play the game correctly.
Exactly.
But then it was just like, we went through this episode 3. I'm going to need to see some sort of progression.
Right.
Y'all got 2 beams of lights?
Yeah, exactly. Like you're going backwards.
You're going backwards.
And you had a blackout. So you lost $250,000. It's
not
like,
with it. Like,
come on now. Like, really? So anyway, let's get into the episode. And of course, Shai's going to chime in when we need her to. So starting off, it was after the last match. It always starts off after the beams, the matchup ceremony. The house starts referring to the fake couples. So there's like a few couples that are the fake couples that continue to keep, wanting to spend time with each other. Alec tells Mike he has feelings for Amanda. Kayla says she's not changing her actions towards Connor. Chelsea confronts Kayla about her actions. Brittany's flirting with Chuck now, topless. Like, she's doing the most. Like, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, what is it when these matchup ceremonies happen and you guys leave and go back to the house, and obviously at this point in time, you guys aren't doing well. What is the sentiment? Is it a situation where people are sad? Are people frustrated? Like, what's going on in everyone's head?
I think that after we blacked out, no one wanted to feel like that again. So even if we got one beam, it was like, well, we didn't black out. Right. So, like, that attitude wasn't the best attitude, but at the same time, we didn't black out. So in my head, I'm like, I still have some money to
I don't know if I'll have it at the end, but right now it's on the table.
Like, we're good.
Sure.
So in my head, I was fine.
Right.
As far as the house, I mean, I think it all depends on your delivery. So, like, for Austin, he was always strategy, like nailing it in your head. As for Alec, he'd be like, okay, let's strategize and play with our hearts.
Right.
It was like,
Alec was confused, it seemed like. A little bit. He seemed confused. Because you can't strategize and go with your heart at the same time.
He repeats this every episode.
Exactly. Go with your heart, guys. Let's go with your heart and strategize. Like, you can't do that. Like, stop it.
He wasn't sure what side he wanted to be on. But he tried.
He tried. Austin did seem like he was, or up to this point, he has been the most level-headed of everything that was going on. So, and that it was the case, correct?
Yeah, he's definitely like Mr. Strategy. And Devin was also.
Yeah.
Devin was really big on, let's, play the game. Like, I can figure it out. It's a math problem. Me personally, like, I failed math, so I'm like, I can't help, but I'll act like I know what you're talking about.
Right.
I mean, I wonder, did people actually start trying to? We were talking about this, like having people start charting everything up in the house. Like, if they were smart enough, they would know to check people off that weren't matches when they tried, and there was a blackout, X, Y, ABC, whatever. Were they doing this, or was everyone just really just like, you know what? I think I'm feeling you, and I think this could be a match, and I think this is possible. So I think I might still have some money. Was it like that?
I mean, there were definitely like some matchups where, like, say if the girls picked, and a couple was be like, okay, let's go over like who are you gonna pick tonight, and like strategize that way. Excuse me. And then there were other times where it'd be like, I'm not telling you who I'm picking. Like,
Oh dang. Okay.
Oh, really?
yeah, I mean, and then there were nights where like we would ask the guys like, oh, do you guys know who you're picking tonight? And they're like, we had a meeting with ourselves. Like, you guys don't get to know. So it was. That's when I feel like we messed up as a house, because that's, you know, how, say we want to pick the same person or whatever it is, like, we weren't talking about it.
No one was playing together.
Interesting.
No.
Interesting. It did seem there was a lot of disjointment, if I can use that term, where like people just wouldn't refuse to be on the same page. Seemed like there would be a few people who were like, okay guys, let's get this together. And then there's always like one or two haters that is like, nah, son, I'm gonna be over here and I'm gonna do what I want to, like, you know, going rogue. And it's like, yo, get this money.
Oh, that was definitely a term we used. Like, are you going rogue tonight?
Right. Oh, really?
Or like, are you guys all on the same page? And there were a lot of times where, you know, it was pretty split a lot. Like, if we were going to talk about, it would be a discussion if we're going to talk about who we're picking. Like, if we've even discussed who we're going to pick already, like, that's confusion.
Right.
What is going on?
I don't know.
Season 3.
Get it together. Well, I'm just glad to hear from you that
Right.
what we've been feeling and seeing is what's going on. That you guys suck. So
yeah, we suck, but it's okay.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's still early. It's still
they
early.
suck. I don't
Yeah,
suck.
right. Of course not. You don't
Jesus
suck. So let's get into the game, which was very interesting. The name of this game. What was the name of the game, Nino?
It was called Hot Doggy Style.
Hot Doggy Style.
I had to pause, rewind,
Yeah.
and like, what? Say that one more time.
What? Huh?
And they're doing what? Are those raw hot dogs? Those were raw hot dogs, weren't they?
Yeah, ew.
Yeah. It looked like it was nasty. But just to explain, the couples had to have a hot dog wiener between them, the couple, and navigate it through a maze. And if you let it go, then you were disqualified. And then the two couples that had the fastest time got to go on a date. And then, of course, you guys got to watch from the inside if you hadn't gone yet, but you can't really see how the maze is set up. So you actually won. Yay! I'm so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, she won. That's dope. So kind of take us through this game. I mean, the games are always, one thing I do like about the show is that, first of all, the games have the best names. And the games, they have the best names. And then the games are like really crazy. Like it brings you guys together in some form of way. So with this particular game, did you have a strategy with Zach, the person you were paired with? First of all, did he pick you? Did you pick him? Was there a strategy involved? You guys have a game plan? What was going on?
I mean, we definitely talked inside if it was a couples challenge, like, let's go for each other. So I think we kind of picked each other. And then when I found out that we had to put a hot dog in our mouth, I was like, we're losing. I don't eat hot dogs. And it's raw. So, like, we're really going to lose. So I'm like, sorry.
But you didn't. Yeah, you didn't have to eat it though.
No.
But it's in your mouth.
Right. It's
But you didn't even have your eyes open at one point. You were just going with it, like I think his eyes were open, but you were just like, "Oh, take me wherever, just get us to the end."
So you let him lead you because you weren't part of the hot dog team.
No, I'm not like hot dogs at all. I think hot dogs are made of pigs' buttholes and lips. And the idea of that in my mouth just doesn't sit well. So I was like, Zach, you lead the way. And he was like, all right, Shai, I got you. And
it worked.
Yeah, we came
Whatever happened, it worked because you got on the date. It's fine.
You got on it. You did. Exactly. No, that's all that matters. Whatever worked, it did work. So the ended up winning the game was Chuck and Brittany and you and Zach. So, but when you found out, this is my favorite part. When you found out what the date was, and you're like, wait a second. She's giant manta rays that you got to go swimming at night, and you're like, oh no, I don't do that. Now, did you really not know what a manta ray was?
No, I really didn't know what a manta ray was. And I got so many tweets from people like, you don't know what a manta ray is? I'm like no.
Yeah, I mean, you don't live in the ocean, so it's not,
I'm like, I know what a fish and a shark is and like stuff like the basics, but what the hell is a manta ray?
I like one point you were like, manta ray is as big as a house. No, a small house. No, maybe an apartment.
First off, manta rays are really big, so everyone can chill.
Yeah.
I exaggerated with the house.
Right.
It's like a shack.
It's like a shack.
Like a shack.
Like
we
a
went
shed.
down to a shack.
Like a shed.
Yeah.
We went down to a
shed. Okay.
But still, those are big, and you in the water. I feel you. I get it.
Right.
And it's in the dark.
Thank you.
In the dark.
So I mean, but it seemed like it was more the fear of the unknown, basically.
I mean, it's the fear of the known, the unknown,
was-
the whole thing, the getting in the water part, the ocean, like you can't see the bottom. Is something gonna eat me?
Right.
Or touch me? And then they're like, the manta ray is gonna go belly to belly with you. Just be still.
Belly,
and it's
wait,
like,
belly to what? What?
Belly to belly.
I don't think I'm
Right.
about that life.
Exactly.
Like-
And they're like, oh, you're gonna get kissed by a manta ray. I'm like, I don't want to kiss it. Like, I don't want it to kiss me.
Yeah.
So no. And they were like, yes.
Yeah. You're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so you end up going into this situation. Did you feel now when you actually went on the date? This is my question. Because it seemed, now I don't know if you just did this to be nice, but it seemed that you kind of, got over it and like enjoyed yourself a little bit. Is that safe to say or no?
It's definitely safe to say after the first water date that I had with the dolphins.
Which you didn't have the best experience with.
That's that tweet that I got confused.
right,
And I didn't know.
right.
I thought
The
it was
dolphin.
Cheetah, but it was you.
Yeah, you got scolded.
But still,
Right.
you found a way to puke cute,
right.
and it worked.
Right.
It worked.
And nobody in the house let that go.
Right.
So I was like, don't puke again.
Right.
Because it's not cute the second time.
It's not cute the first time, but that's
No.
cool. Yeah.
Hold on. It was definitely cute the first time.
Oh, it's cute.
It was cute the first time.
I thought it was adorable.
I don't think you saw the arch in my back. It was definitely
We were
cute.
very impressed.
Oh,
you know
God.
that.
You know
Okay.
how many tweets I got about?
Okay.
No, that was not Rashida. That was Cheyenne. I'm like, oh, I'm so
Okay.
sorry. I apologize. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
The arch in your back. Okay, got it.
Right.
Right.
So I couldn't repeat the cuteness
Gotcha,
again.
gotcha.
So I knew going into this, you have to be a boss.
Right. And
Totally.
You had to take over.
And she
control.
she
it.
dove right
You
in.
did.
Yeah.
You had to do it. You had to do it.
I screamed for
Yeah.
like the first 30 minutes. Zach
Right.
kept looking like you sound crazy underwater screaming, but I'm like, just be quiet.
Right. Just deal with it. Just deal with it. So, I'm glad that you got over your fear a little bit.
Thanks.
I noticed I want to kind of talk about, since you're here, and you were talking with Zach, and it seemed like Zach kind of comforted you a little bit, kind of made you feel good about what was going on. And then you guys are talking, you have your moment where after all of that's done, you kind of are, together, and he seems like he's feeling you. And he says that you guys could be a perfect match. What was going through your head at that point? Like, did you feel like, were you feeling him? Or were you just kind of like,
Because I know your reaction was like, really?
Yeah.
Which I laughed about.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how she's feeling.
Right. It didn't seem like you were feeling the same. I mean, I could be wrong, but since you're here,
With that smile, she
we can ask you
Hey.
directly.
I think she just answered right now.
I think she did.
And if you don't answer, I'm going to ask your mom.
Okay.
Oh.
Going into the date, Zach and I have very similar personalities.
Okay.
Except he's like a little bit more goofy than I am. But where he's always joking, always playing around, like super funny, super flirtatious, but with a lot of the girls in the house. Like he was flirtatious with everyone, really. So it was hard for me to take him seriously because I'm like, are you just telling me what I want to hear?
Right.
Or do you really, think we could really be a match?
Right.
So it was like, I'm not going to put myself out there and then go back to the house and now you're flirting with someone else because we just did this date and I got in the freaking water and now you're over there. Like,
Right.
I was like, I did way too much, so
Right.
I'm going to keep my, my guard up, basically.
Sure.
But I thought, looking at it, I'm like, oh, this was genuine. Like, he honestly, like, he was genuine when we were talking. My response probably could have been better.
But wait, I gotta. You just said something that kind of like resonated to me. You were like, I kept my guard up a little bit, and I feel like when people play this game, they need to keep their guard up a little bit so they don't fall into like too deep too quick. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, you definitely have to keep your guard up to a certain extent. At the same time, it's like
Let
you
it
have
go,
to
right?
let it
Yeah.
go a little because you're obviously here for a reason, and we only have a short period of time to get it done. But at the same time, it's like if you just go like full throttle into it, no guard, it's like gotta calm down. But if you have a guard up, it's like, you're not talking to anybody.
We got a couple of those full throttle people in the house. I know that for sure.
Yes, for sure.
There's a lot of them, and they're taking that for everybody. Yeah.
Are we going to talk about the mermaids?
Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you bring that up?
Chuck and Brittany. Now I really thought like, okay, these two are gonna go to the truth booth and it's gonna be a match. You're gonna go into the honeymoon suite and that's it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Our little girl Desiree over here though probably would have been sad. But
I would have been very sad.
You would have been very sad.
Just so you know, Desiree really loves.
I saw your tweets
No.
to Chuck.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I love Chuck too. I think it's just I think it's just Chuck.
I think it is.
The world and Chuck. So Chuck, oh god. But no, like the mermaid situation. He was loving how she was floating in the water with the mermaid hair covering everything. And I thought this was going to be a match, and it wasn't. But we're going to go into that. But they looked like they had a really good time.
They did.
They did, and they kissed. So it seemed like they did have a good time.
They kissed a lot.
He kissed a lot. He kissed a lot of other people. Is that what you're saying? Like he was a kissing bandit?
No, like on that date, Zach and I were making s'mores, and I looked over and I'm like, they're kissing, and he's like, 10 minutes later, he's like, they're still kissing.
Okay, so
the s'mores.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Speaking of the s'mores a little bit, okay, like I like to burn my marshmallow and then like blow it off really quick and then make it, but like those were some burnt marshmallows.
First off, Zach was making the s'mores, and the first one kind of like popped off and like burned my leg a little bit. So I was like, I don't like s'mores anymore. Like I can care two craps about this s'more. And he was like, no, I'm the ultimate s'more maker. Like super like, this is how you have to burn it, and then the chocolate goes on this level. I'm like,
that s'more looked a little cancerous.
Yeah.
It was like
it looked a little sad.
It was a little crispy.
Yeah, a little crispy.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little.
She was like, let me take her.
So you guys get back after your dates, and of course, while you guys are on a date, as always, they vote for the truth booth. So, and in the truth booth, they actually voted for, as Nino said, Chuck and Brittany, which I figured they were because they seemed like they did have good chemistry. It seemed like it made sense, visually that's who you would pick. So they go in, and lo and behold, there's no match. And so it seemed like previously, because you guys haven't got not one truth booth right up to this point, but in previous ones there was like a level of anticipation. There was like some like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get it, and then when it's not, it's like, oh, everybody's kind of up in arms. But this particular time, and it could have been editing, but it seemed like it was like, oh, like it was like I don't know if it was you guys have just don't getting it or not getting it, or it's a situation where, okay, it's another one, or it just seemed like people were not invested into it this time.
Although I thought it was interesting, I think it was Devin that actually high-fived Chuck when he came out
he did.
of the truth booth, and I was like, okay, there's something there. There is some conversation there.
There's a little bromance going on. She's shaking her head like, yes.
There's definitely a bromance between Chuck and Big D.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
They love each other.
So he was happy he was back because he wouldn't have to go to the honeymoon suite.
Yeah, and I think the rest of us, I think we just kind of got used to like sucking.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
It was like, oh, no match again. Okay.
And that's what I was getting. Yeah, right. That's what I was getting from it, because it just seemed like it was like, oh, okay, not a match.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
But before the match, or before the truth booth situation went on, somebody came and visited Chuck in the bathroom.
That's
in
right.
The shower.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I do have that written down.
Right.
Yeah, Miss Hannah. She did come in to the bathroom when they got back from the date, and it was like, it's almost like she didn't waste any time. Like, he literally got back from the date and was like, oh, I need to clean myself, and she's like, yo, what up? Like,
it's like,
I mean.
It's
really?
like he was about to go to prison or something, and she's like, this is my last time with you.
Right.
I don't know if there are any conjugal visits. I need to do this really, really quick.
I mean,
That's a good way to put it.
I just was like, she really wants to be with this dude. I mean, they're not a match. She wants to get it in. Whatever's going on in the shower, who knows?
It happened. We know it happened.
Okay. I'm trying to be nice. But I will say, on the flip side of that, I think it was dope of Chuck to be like, yo, this is what happened.
I love that part.
As opposed to, well, she disagrees. Shai disagrees, but...
Dang, you got all that from my facial expression.
Yeah, I did. It was on your face. Tell me why you disagree.
I feel like, okay, Chuck went on the date with Brittany, and
Right.
I watched them heavily
Invested.
make out for a
Yes.
really long time.
Right,
So
right.
I'm like, okay, like he's really feeling her, whatever. Then I get back to the house. We all take showers because we just swam with giant fish that looks like a shack.
Right.
But anyway, and I hear from the rumor mill, Hannah, hopped in the shower with Chuck because she was cold.
Because she was cool. Okay.
LOL, yeah, okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
She was cold.
She
She
was
wanted
cold.
to clean off, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
She definitely cleaned off.
So
Stop. Let me
it
stop.
was like, to me, Chuck could have been like, I literally was just making out with Britt.
Like he could have
Oh,
been
so
like,
he
Yeah.
went with it. Yeah.
Don't
He
know.
could have
That's
literally just
true.
been like, hey, like, I was just with Brittany. Like, let me at least, like, brush my teeth or something. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
Something.
Right.
instead of just being like, she's here, like,
Let me
So even though he was honest, it was still a little shady. It was a little player thing for him to do still.
right, that's still
Yeah.
shady. Like, if you cheat on me and come tell me the next day, like, that doesn't make it better.
Well, I guess I'll backpedal a little bit. I wasn't saying that it was the best thing he did. I just like that because everybody on the show is with everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
they end up going, okay, well, you're not my match. Oh, what's up over here? And they're like playing each other or what have you. So, and they're not telling anybody.
Right.
Or it's found out, but they're not volunteering information. And I guess for me, knowing how the show runs, knowing what's going on with the show, the fact that he did at least say something was something. And she kind of seemed like she accepted it, and was just like, okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
no, I'll
Move
give that to
forward.
Chuck. I'll
Right.
definitely give that to him. He
Right.
was open about the situation. I think either way, Brittany still would have found out because someone walked in on the shower.
Right.
Oh, somebody did walk in on the shower.
Yeah, and that's how the house found
Oh,
out.
that's very interesting.
So he kind of was forced to say something.
So I feel like she would have found out either way.
Right.
You see what editing can do?
Yeah,
I know.
For real.
So true.
Giving us the inside scoop. Okay, so enough of your boy. Just say it. So let's get into the matchup. So it was guys' night this time, and they were going to pick the people that they wanted to match up with, obviously. And I have a quick question. Does anyone know, like, the order? Because it seems like whoever goes first seems surprised. Is that really true? Like,
Yeah,
they don't
that's
know.
true.
Okay. So it's very possible that you could have someone in mind that you want to pick, and then someone picks them.
Yep, that's
So-
when the problems and the drama.
That's when the drama.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, then we know that.
That's when good TV happens.
Exactly. So Alec was first, and so he picks Amanda. You're laughing like already.
I love Amanda.
But I thought it was interesting because not only one girl, but two girls had an issue with it. So Rashida had an issue with it, which we're really going to get into because I need to
poor
know
Rashida, what happened?
what happened with her
What's going on?
meltdown, because that was crazy. And she seemed super extra. I'm just saying, but you can tell me about that. But Rashida and Stacy both had issues with him picking Amanda. Why do you think that is? Is it because of what he kind of established with them? It didn't seem like there was a lot going on with Rashida. Obviously, she seems like she likes him. They had the dance number going on. She was all over the place. I didn't think she would be mad at him picking someone else, but was there something that we don't know?
Watching it, I honestly did not know that Alec really liked Amanda. So for me, that was kind of like, wait, what? Like, you were looking at her? Like,
Right.
I had no idea. And Stacy and Alex spent a lot of time together in the house. And it was a two-way, he talked to her sometimes.
Right.
Like, it wasn't always Stacy. Like, he was definitely talking back sometimes. So I think that was always, Stacy and Alec were always a topic of conversation. And not just like Stacy on Alec, but them together.
Right.
And Rashida,
Hold that thought. I want to get her special time.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you're telling me that Alec was feeling Stacy at one point and he was still talking to her and you saw it a lot. So this whole Stacy get away from
Being
me
a
situation
crazy
Right.
girl,
is like,
yeah.
I definitely think
Is
there
that
was a
overplayed?
point where Stacy and Alec did have like their moments and their like conversations and did have like time where
Yeah.
they were both feeling each other.
Right.
Okay, because I've been calling Stacey a little crazy,
Yeah.
so I apologize if I offended you, because MTV's cutting it to make you look like you're crazy. So,
She
definitely looks that way in this
Just a
episode
little
for
bit.
sure.
Stacey's a little crazy, but we're all a little crazy.
Right.
Like,
That's why you're on the show.
Because he was like,
Yeah.
okay, I just need some space. I need some
Right.
space. And Stacey was just kissing
Yeah.
him. And then he tries to go pee.
Right.
And Stacey comes in.
Right. That was hilarious.
Okay,
That was hilarious.
exactly. You know what? I don't think Stacey's crazy. I think she's passionate.
Okay.
There you go.
Passionate.
There you go.
Interesting.
Good way to put
she
it.
does seem like a stage 4 clinger. I'm just saying. That's how they're making her to be.
I feel like she would be
does
an amazing girlfriend,
Okay.
and she would always be there for you.
Always be
Stacey's
there.
your homie.
Always would be there. All right. So let's get into the next one. So Tyler ends up picking Melanie. Zach picks you. No surprise there. Chuck picks Kiki. Devin picks Hannah. And then Rashida starts flipping out at this point.
This
She
is
looks like she's having a
crazy.
panic attack.
Rashida.
She's like fanning herself. Like she's doing the most. And everyone looks confused. Like everyone looks confused and I'm as a viewer, I'm watching this and I'm like, what is going on? Like why is she doing this? Is she like really not well? Is she just, like, can't handle the pressure? But what's the pressure right now? Because she's not picking anybody. She just is waiting to be picked. So in your opinion, you were there that night when this went on. What was your opinion of Rashida and kind of how everything went down with her?
Rashida has a really, really big personality, and we all love her personality. And she's fun, she sings, like, she's super spirited, she's always into whatever we're doing, she gives it her 100%. And I think it was really hard in the house for her with all these, like, fake couples that she was like, I'm really trying to put myself out there. I came in a little hot, but
Right.
I definitely toned it down, like, see me for who I am. Like, don't just friend zone me. And
Right.
a lot of the guys just put her in the friend zone. And if you're in a house where you're supposed to, find a connection and everyone, like, kind of puts you second or whatever, that's not a good feeling.
Right.
Like, that sucks. So, like, I definitely understood where she was coming from. I wish, like, they would show more of, like, her fun personality besides from, like, the dramatics
Right.
more so.
Makes
Because
sense.
we all love Rashida.
Yeah, and I gotta ask because like the very first episode we picked up on this when everyone's like Rashida, where did that come from? Is there a story? There has to be.
Honestly, it's just her name. The boys just loved screaming Rashida. Like, I never got it. I really never
understand.
understood.
Is there
I
like a
get it.
specific person on the show that kind of coined it?
Devin. He's
Devin.
always like, Rashida!
You know what? And I think I wrote this down. So like, I put Rashida seems emotionally drained about the whole situation because I was like, is she sick? Is she blah blah? But then I realized, okay, so Devin didn't pick her, but she was feeling Devin this episode, and yeah, no, I can see it now. We're getting all deep now after all the laughs, but yeah, I can see where that could be a hurtful thing when you're trying and
Right.
you're putting yourself out there and.
And she didn't feel good that day. Like, I think she was just, it wasn't her
mixture.
day.
It just
wasn't her day.
Right.
And we all had those days. Hopefully they don't show mine.
Oh, I don't know. I think they might.
You never know.
Yo, but wait a minute.
Yes.
When you got picked, Nelson was a little mad.
Oh yeah.
Your boy Nelson was like, yo, that's not
Yeah.
right, blah, blah, blah,
Well,
blah.
and it seems like that's going to carry over into, based on the previews into next season. But yeah, like, were you leading Nelson on? Because Nelson seems like, we don't know much about him because he hasn't really got a lot of airtime.
That's true.
But he seems, using the word loosely, he seems like a cool dude. Are you just not into him and his goatee and all that kind of stuff?
Like, if I'm gonna be honest,
Please.
which sucks, I'd love to lie
Yeah.
and say that Nelson and I didn't have a thing, but we definitely had a thing
In the beginning, though, right?
in the beginning.
In the beginning.
So
Okay.
that's where his feelings were.
Right.
Oh.
And when we found out we weren't a match, he was
Devastated.
livid.
Oh.
So he caught the feelings hella hard. And you were like, I need to ride this wave. I need to make this money.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that wall that we were talking about, like mine was definitely still up.
It was up.
And I definitely think he let like his guard down a little too easy. Like he was really, really, really upset. Like he punched
A wall?
a wall.
Oh, wow.
And they show
Yeah.
him like when he was in the closet, like
Right.
he was really upset about it. My
They did. I
personality
remember they
isn't
should
like
show
that.
that. Yeah.
I'm more kind of like, all right. That sucks.
Just so you guys know, in viewing land, the family's here
Yes,
and they are
and they
laughing
laughed at that,
uncontrollably
so-
because they know what's up. Anyway, okay, so that's where that's coming from.
Yeah, and Zach and Nelson were really good friends in the house.
Because it sounded like he felt like he was betrayed, like Zach betrayed him.
Yeah.
But this is the thing that I have, and you probably feel the same way based on what you've been saying so far, is the whole betrayal thing goes out a lot because it's like you find you're not a match, but then these people have something special going on. But the whole point is you got to find your match, right? So there's no betrayal because the whole point is you got to get to know someone else. And people just sit up there and like, I can't believe you did that. And I feel like so many people have done it so far. It's still early, but they just like, well, I can't believe you did that to my man. And you know, that's the only person I like. And I'm like, you guys have been there 3 weeks. Like, what are you talking about? So I feel like there's a lot of that going on. It sounds like you agree with that. We're going to keep going. Mike ends up picking Kayla, who says that she still has feelings for Connor, which I'm just like, okay, sure, that's great, but let's play the game. You know what I'm saying?
And she gets a little crazy too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So-
She absolutely does. She absolutely does. Connor ends up picking Chelsea. Kayla gets mad at both of them. So I'm like, okay, please tell me, enlighten me, because did they not read the manual? Did you guys get a manual? Did you get a briefing?
I honestly wish Ari the one came with the manual. Like, I might make one for next season.
And just like have
Here
fun.
you guys go.
Yeah.
But no.
I mean, it's like they just don't get the nature of the game. And I understand when feelings get involved. I get it. You know, you're put in this high pressure, situation that you would never be under normal circumstances. Got it. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to release people and let them, and it's not like you'll never speak to them again.
Exactly,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? You're living together. So you're going to see them and you can still, talk to them or whatever, but get the money. And to me, if I was in this situation, I would try to get the money as fast as possible so I can go to the person that I like. You know what I'm saying? And so that to me makes the most sense as opposed to being like, nope, I'm going to stay with you. I know we're not a
gonna be on the
match,
next
but
season
I'm
here.
going to stay with you because I like you and we'll get money later.
Lem would win that mill in like the
Lem
third
would
episode.
totally
Yo,
win.
I'm telling you, I would
think
have
it's
graphs.
easier said than it's done.
And I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. But at the same time, you did say that you guys are all a little crazy.
Yeah,
So,
and Kayla was passionate too.
right.
Very
I love it.
passionate.
Passionate.
She's
Passionate.
passionate.
I'm gonna start using that this season.
Right.
No, they were just passionate.
They just
Don't worry
passionate.
about that.
Yeah,
They
just
just
passionate.
Chelsea I think she really liked Connor, but it's hard when I'm like, hey, I really like you.
Right.
And she's like, hey, like, that's mine, back
Right,
off. Like,
right.
it's not a comfortable situation.
Sure.
You don't feel comfortable to go talk to this person if you know later on he's going to be
Right.
sleeping with someone else.
Right.
It sucks.
Absolutely. No, I get it. Let's finish up here. So Nelson ends up picking Brittany, Hunter picks Rashida, and then Austin and Stacy are the last matchup. So the last episode, if I remember correctly, you had 3 matches based on the last one. So I'm thinking like, okay, it's gonna be like 4, maybe 5.
I was guessing 4 or 5.
You
Yeah,
know,
me
just
too.
thinking, it's gonna, you guys look like you know what you're doing. No, 2 matches. You guys
Ridiculous.
backpedaled.
I don't understand.
Which is
Two
kind
matches.
of crazy though, because like they looked like they were thinking about it, like
Yes.
like what would work right, what
Right.
would work right.
Right.
It just still didn't work out.
Right.
So I'm like, is this the system? Is this y'all? Like I don't know anymore at this
Right.
point because I'm like they were trying, they were really trying.
I feel like we
Right.
really tried. Like, going into the ceremony, I was definitely like, okay, tonight is a good night. Like, we can really do something. And
Right.
then it was like, no, never mind. Go back to the house. You still suck.
You still suck. That's it. So, 2 matches. Of course, you guys are, however you feel. Like you said, you were kind of at this point, the disappointment is already setting in because you guys keep there's no progression. You keep backpedaling, haven't got a truth booth right, and I know that that's a big, starter because that's at least one match that you get. So, all of that is over. obviously goes in the next season or next episode, and I'm excited to see what happens, especially with your boy.
Me too.
I want to kind of see how, because he was mad. He was mad. But I want to see if we can get this game up, if we can. But while they're trying to get the game up, little game, we're going to do a little match game. But I wanted to kind of talk to you and just you can kind of share with the fans kind of what you're into, some of the things that people can follow you, things that you're doing outside of the show.
Outside of the show, I work with my family.
Okay.
We're all entrepreneurs.
Nice.
Entrepreneurs.
I have a brand called The Roo, which is a fitness line, and we're developing a lingerie line.
Okay.
We also do silk products, so like silk pillowcases. That's called the 18th letter.
Okay.
My parents have had their business for over 17 years. They have a parent litigation, which is called Image Quest. So we're all pretty busy. And I'm always with my family, clearly.
Yeah. When you said you were pulling up, you're like, "Oh, I'm in the car with my sister." I was like, "Oh, okay, she brought her sister." No, ladies and gentlemen, she brought
crew is here.
this family reunion inside the
Like,
studio.
if I could have brought them with me to Hawaii,
Yeah,
they would have
they
been
would've been
there.
there.
No,
Yeah.
they made me like the cutest scrapbook when I went.
Is that right?
And they hid it in my bag, and then I found out I was there, and I had like the biggest meltdown.
Aw.
But yeah, we're super like into each other, like way too into each other.
Way too it.
Yes.
They're like laughing over here.
So how do I get one of these silk pillowcases? Because that sounds awesome.
It's actually pretty amazing, and it's good for your skin and your hair.
Nice.
Wow.
Yes.
Is
I'm
there
going
like
to check that out.
websites or like social media that you can plug for them?
There's Shop the Roo. That's for Instagram and Twitter. Mine is Shai Not Shy, and you can always find my stuff on there. And then the silk pillowcases is the 18th letter.
Okay.
Underscore.
All right. Yeah. Sister had to remind her, she's like, underscore. Don't forget that.
Remember the underscore. Remember that. Well, that's awesome. First of all, I just want to thank you for coming into the studio and being here with us.
So much
You've
fun.
been a great guest. I love your character on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's all I want to know is I'm just glad that manta rays are really like shacks. There really is a big, because I had no idea. So I'm just saying, I really like that. Before we go, we always do this thing where we have predictions, and I want to do that really quickly, and I wanted you to kind of interject. I know you can't tell the future, but if you were a viewer, what would you predict? So
These lights?
yeah, we like light
We
show.
need the club music back.
Yeah, this is the Halloween edition, All right, so we'll start with Nino. Nino, what is your prediction going forward, sir?
I always get so lost at this part of our episode because there's so much going on.
Right.
Last week I predicted that y'all were going to get it together. And, things were going to happen and things were going to progress, but I felt like we were back to episode 3 again, and it was the same thing.
Gotcha.
And same situation. I think maybe this is the wake-up call. This episode is the wake-up call. And they might not get more than 3 beams, but they're still going to have that 750K in the next episode. I don't think it's going to be a blackout. I think they're still going to go strong. They're going to strategize a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure Kiki and Devin are still going to be together, and a whole bunch of the fake couples.
Right.
I think she just confirmed it.
Right.
But the whole bunch of the fake couples are still going to come and be together, but I don't know. I get so lost.
Okay. Desiree, what do you think?
Okay, well, at this point, it's like you need to be smart. You need to figure out, okay, out of the 2 matches that we got tonight, who are those 2?
Right.
And I think one of them could possibly be Kiki and Chuck. I have said this from the beginning because, like,
So not
her
Chuck and
yoga
Desiree?
thing. Well, Chuck and Desiree would be ideal. He retweeted me a few times today, guys. No, but really, I think they are one of the matches for sure. I said that in the beginning, like I just said, but I still feel the same way.
I agree with you.
But I cannot figure out who the other couple could possibly be. But they do need to use their heads and think about that strategically.
Okay. Well, my favorite character on the show is Cheyenne, and so I think that her...
He's not just saying that either.
I didn't say that because I'm here.
No. Have I not said that
I
before?
know
He has
that
said this so many
Kiki and
times.
Chelsea are coming next week, and if I hear you say that, it's my favorite character.
Cheyenne will be coming to the live.
Yeah.
No, but
it's
for real,
true.
it's true.
I talk
I've
about
always said
Chuck.
that.
He talks about Cheyenne.
I talk about-
Nino,
yeah,
you're kind of
yes.
like over
I'm just
Kiki, I think.
In the beginning, I was like,
actually.
oh, you know, Kiki, I would go with you. You cool. Then she got a little crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm backing up. I'm backing
She's
up. I'm backing up.
passionate,
Yeah.
like the queen.
Right,
right.
Queen of passion.
yeah,
Yeah.
Queen of passion.
Yeah, no, so I think Cheyenne possibly is going to go into the truth booth next episode, because if I recall, she felt like her and Zach should have been in the truth booth, not the other couple. So I think that she will win a challenge again and get voted in with, I don't know if it's going to be with Zach, but whoever she's with, she's going to get voted into the truth booth. That's what I think. But that's my prediction.
And I'm trying to read her face over here like
I know.
I'm really trying to do this poker face.
You're doing pretty well, though.
You're really good.
Yeah.
So I won't put you on the spot.
Yeah.
I know it's difficult. You got to hold it together. But like I said, thank you again for coming. Thank you for bringing the Floyd family,
Yes.
all of them, every
have brought a lot
last
more,
one.
okay?
I'm sure you could have. But we're so glad that they were here. I've been your host, Lem Gonsalves. We want to thank you for tuning in to our after show. Make sure that you tune in next week, because we have not one, but two cast members that are going to be here.
It's
Now,
going to be awesome.
it's going to be super awesome. I'm not going to say who they are, but we want you to be surprised. You can find me on social media, and that's at The Poet Saint all day, every day. We're having such a great time. Desiree, where can they find you?
Well, there's a clue in this episode to who the guest might be. I don't know. But
Right.
anyways, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at dmurph625. Chuck, talking to you.
Yeah.
Do I need to like hook this up?
Shai, tell them again when they can find you.
Shy, not shy.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
That's cool. Nino.
Once again, y'all, it's your boy Nino. You can find me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
You didn't say both names, right? You just said one.
Oh, okay. Shy, not shy, and Shop the Room.
Oh, no. I was talking about the guests that were coming. You
I definitely
said
said both.
You did
It's
say
okay.
both. Okay. Well,
You
then
gotta find it. You gotta watch the
You still
show.
gotta watch the show. You gotta make sure you come
Rewind.
in, do it, rewind, all of that. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night.
Deuces, y'all.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.